What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Unsolicited Genius Live. We will get started shortly. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for signing in. Thank you for letting us know you care. Because the feedback, the conversations, the shares, the likes is all appreciated. So let me get a second to catch my breath, and we will get started in 3, 2, and 1. Well, no, not 1. Wait till I was that clock. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Unsolicited Genius. Thank you for signing in tonight. If you're new to the show, this is our time slot. We are here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central, my time zone, 9 p.m. Eastern. 2 hours later, so what, 6 o'clock Pacific, same time, Mountain Time, and then figure it out wherever else you are in the world. But this is a live recording of a podcast show because we do a lot of a little stuff. So we got conversations with Carlton, we got Unsolicited Genius Live, and we got more to come. So it's a podcast show, live recording, so there might be some slip-ups, some flip-ups. I might get a little tongue-tied, but our super producer, Joe Nitty, he edits all of that, makes it look good, make it sound good. So that we can re-release it on YouTube, so that we can release it on Spotify, Apple, all the places that your podcasts are found. So again, welcome to Unsolicited Genius Live, and we will get started in 3, 2, and 1. Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to Unsolicited Genius. I am your curator, Carlton Ennis, and on today's show, I've got a story to tell. So sit back, get your popcorn. We hope to give you something to ponder. What's up, everybody? This is Carlton Ennis with Unsolicited Genius, and so on tonight's show, I am telling my story to other podcasters, content creators, people out there doing your thing in the stratosphere. One of the best practices is to share your story. Much as you talk about what you do, as much as you sell what you sell, give the people a reason why, how you got here. So this is me after 47 episodes, 84 some odd videos throughout YouTube, podcasts, all that stuff. I'm sharing my story. For the people that love me, who've been asking the question, what the hell is Carlton doing? We're going to find out why. For the people who have just happened to meet me, they want to know, how did he get here? What's the backstory? This is the show. So I'm not going to rush through it. I'm going to take my time. Hopefully, you can tease something out as I go through. So the headliner, who am I? My name is Carlton Ennis. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. If you want to know specifics, today it is the city of Miami Gardens. I am a graduate of Miami Norland Senior High, home of the mighty Vikings. And it is in that place, in those spaces, that I became me. My mother is originally born in Liberty City, so the projects of Miami. My father's born Guyana, South America, came over to the States in his teens. How they got together, I don't know. Married for a little while, divorced when I was 4 or 5. So what I like to say is they came together to have me. Both very influential in who I am, both very disciplined in their parenting. I love them to death. My father has been gone since 2004. So next year will be 20 years that we said goodbye. But his energy, his spirit, his guidance, his love remains with me. And for those who don't know him, you hear him in my voice. We had different accents. He came from the jungle in Guyana. So he talk a certain way. A lot of my family, I still don't understand what they say. And they speak English. It's just not my version. So, but the depth, the deep, the enunciation is a byproduct of Edgar Ennis, my father. And my mom, Willie Mae, God bless her heart, she's still here, just celebrated 75. She is doing her thing, living her life. So I am here because of them. What I do is a God-driven destiny, but I get ahead of myself. We'll come to that part. So again, born and raised Miami, Florida, graduated Miami Northern Senior High, attended the University of Florida, where day one I was pre-med. To be from where I'm from, to be a high achiever, I was given two options. I was made aware of two options. You're Black, you're smart, you're gonna be a doctor, you're gonna be a lawyer. I had no interest in practicing law. At the time, Matlock was the show, and I thought it was boring. We had Trapper John MD. I had relations with a few MDs. I had a passion to care for people, to help people. So I said, out of the two, I'll be a doctor. So I take all of that energy into the University of Florida, and upon my second year, I recognized that this was not the path. What am I to do? I didn't know. That was probably the first period in my life where I experienced depression, experienced confusion, because the thing that I said that I would be doing my entire life, well, teenager entire life, didn't match, didn't fit, didn't align. But I also had not spent any time figuring out what else there might be, what other path that I could potentially pursue. Happenstance being on my side, I was a counselor for a healthcare camp, and it was a camp for high school students coming to the University of Florida to learn about the healthcare industry. And one of the areas of focus was teaching them about the jobs. So to be a counselor, to be mentoring and helping these students, I said, hell, maybe the pamphlet got something in it for me. So in reading the document, I was going to say peruse, but I didn't peruse. I was looking for an answer. I landed upon health administration. For those that don't know, health administration is the business side of our healthcare industry. And so for all of its screwedness as it exists today, it's not just the doctors, it's not just the lawyers. There are people in suits in back rooms making the decisions that influence the care that you receive. It can be in the form of an insurance company. It can be in the pharmaceutical space. It can be in hospitals. It could be in physician groups. It could be in clinics. So to identify health administration, it felt like a fit. To be pre-med, I was still in healthcare. The personality type was that of somebody who was analytics, good in math. It read well. It felt like it might align. I didn't have any other options, so it is what I pursued. So upon completion of my undergraduate degree, I enrolled in the health administrative program, the Master's in Health Administration program at the University of Florida. Go Gators. I am a Gator ×3. I have my undergrad nutritional science, Master's in Health Administration, and upon getting out in the real world, recognized there was some more skill that I wanted to bring to the table. So I went back and got a Master's of Science in Business Administration with a concentration in entrepreneurship. If ever Kanye West hears anything from me, he would be disappointed because I got a whole bunch of degrees. And they managed to pay the bills. So in a way, degrees do keep me warm, but I digress. Upon completion of graduate school, I took my first position back home in Miami, Florida at a community healthcare organization serving the people that I came from. We went into the hood, provided care for the uninsured, underinsured. We did book bag giveaways. We did back to school physicals. We took care of the mom. We took care of the dad. We took care of whatever needs our patient base had for those who did not have insurance. And in that work, there was triumph. In that work, there was tragedy. But I continued. After a few years in Miami, I transitioned to another organization in Central Florida. From there, I transitioned to Houston, Texas, where I am still a resident of the state of Texas. The joke being, I went to Houston with a 2-year plan, build my resume, do some things, learn some things, and make my way back east. 15 years later, 17 years later, my math is off. 17 years later, I'm still here. Not just in Texas, in my second city in Texas. So after about 6 years of doing a healthcare thing in Houston, I took the healthcare thing to Austin, where I currently reside. Why is that relevant? Because for about 20 years, I did the thing that wasn't my thing. As I've said on the show, I am today a certified professional life coach and a podcaster. How is that possible? How do you go from health administration, moving money, creating budgets, leading groups of people, nurses, physicians, medical assistants, providing health care to a range of communities, a diverse set of patient populations? How do you go from that to this circumstance? Coaching has been in me most of my life. Started in high school, didn't have a label for it, didn't have a title for it, didn't know that a job existed for it, but at minimum, I helped people as best I could work through the challenges that they faced in life. How does a 14-year-old help somebody? Well, the space you create within yourself is the space you allow for others. So whatever I learned from, experienced from in my journey, I found ways to impart knowledge, wisdom of my experience on my people, on my friends. Often I was the person that folks would call when they faced that challenge they couldn't process through, be it school, be it a boyfriend, be it a girlfriend, be it a teacher, be it a parent, be it a fear. I found value in helping people work through their shenanigans. The interesting part is, the closest thing that I could identify with, or the closest profession that I could find that kind of did what I thought what I felt like I was doing was psychology. Why didn't I pursue it? I'm about to tell you. So at the University of Florida, as I said, I was pre-med. I excelled in math. I excelled in writing. I had a teacher tell me I was crazy for going to med school, but what I know, this was my path. And at this time, the influence of my father was significant. So as I pondered, I found myself saying, maybe I'll transition away from pre-med, minor in math, minor in English, have fun with it, see where it lands, and major in psychology. So as I pondered this, I ended up on the phone with my dad. And I said, hey, Dad, this is what I'm thinking. He said, son, psychology is for poom poom padoos. And for those who don't know, that is an equivalent to cat. But my father, being very colorful in his language, used the P word in describing who psychology was for. And a rare thing occurred in this moment. I allowed my father to influence my decision. Hadn't really done it a lot. He was a presence in my life. His opinions were valued. But as I was then, as I am now, I often did what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, how I wanted to do it. But in this moment, I heard my dad's words and said, you know what? I will let it go. So I did. Stayed pre-med, pursued the path to not being a doctor. Fast forward to graduate school. I'm in my health administration program. Our professors, our program say, hey, there's this thing called the Myers-Briggs, which for those who don't know is a personality assessment. When you see the INFPs and EFJs, XYZ, all these letters, all these labels that people still share, people still take the Myers-Briggs. It's a very beneficial assessment to take. The assessment we did, or the version of the Myers-Briggs that we did when I was in graduate school, was all in addition to giving us insight to our personalities, it would also tell us what careers we would potentially thrive in. So at this point, I'm all into health administration. I'm all into choreographing my path into being the CEO of somebody's healthcare system. That's what the coursework was about. Those are what our tests challenge us to see, be, and do. So to take this assessment, I was fully expecting to have it revealed that, Carlton, you a boss. Go be a boss. A couple of my classmates, their assessment said executive, CEO, business leader. It fit. Several of them are being bosses where they are right now. My assessment said inspirational leader, pastor, priest, rabbi. What the hell is that? What does that mean? How do I feed my family being an inspirational leader? I don't even know what that is at the time. My favorite professor, I told you this is a live recording, so I get tongue-tied. But my favorite professor, Dr. Christy Lemack, shout out. She out there in the world doing a thing. She looked over my shoulder, saw my results. She said, I can see that. In my head, I said, Dr. Lemack, get out my face. I don't know what this is. I don't know how I feed a family with this. So don't remember what I did with it exactly. But in my mind, my memory is I took those results, balled them up, tossed them, said, I am going to be somebody's CEO. So high school, college, grad school, still not a coach. I'm just doing what I do. Along the career path, a lot of successes. Google me, you'll see some stuff. You'll see some award, you'll see some accolades. But the truth of my professional experience is I did not enjoy it. I did it well most days, but I did not enjoy it collectively. Aspects of it I love. Making moves, making decisions, implementing change that influenced positive outcomes in the healthcare experience of whomever's patient population. That meant a lot to me. I found value in it. I thrived on many days doing that thing. However, living and being in an environment that is not true to you at some point will break you down. So as much as I had good days, I had a whole lot of bad days, whether it was me reflecting on me, whether it was a colleague, a boss, reflecting back what they thought they were getting from me, and all the other shenanigans in between. My work life for a good part of my life represented a stressor. Did what I could, did my best, but at its core, I was not happy. Fortunately, when my job in Houston, we had an internal coach, and this coach, who is still my coach forever today, she showed me some things. She reflected some things. She was the first person that made me see that maybe you are not pursuing the right path. And she had a magical way of articulating it that she would not let me tell her to shut that up. She allowed me to hear it. I allowed myself to receive it. So now I know I am not on the right path. And to have had a 20-year career, for the record, this was approximately year 10 that I had this discovery, this realization. So not on the right path, what am I to do? How do I find the path? Coach said, explore. So I explored. I tried a little bit of everything. I did some process improvement. I did some project management. I did some soul searching as well. And in that experience, what I landed on was, I want to do what Coach do. But how do I get paid? How do I feed my family doing what Coach do? So if that was a 10 years ago, give or take, realization, it took me about 10 years to figure it out. In that 10 years, there was a lot of fear. There was a lot of uncertainty. There was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of life. In that 10 years, I became a father. In that 10 years, I elevated my status professionally. In that 10 years, I moved from one city to another. In that 10 years, there was tragedy. In that 10 years, there was God paving my way. In about 2016, give or take, I said, all right, let me dip my pinky toe in these coaching waters. So I start I incorporate myself. I start seeing clients. It's a side hustle, but I do my day job. Had some impact, had some influence. If you go to my website, those testimonials come from that group. They were with me then, they with me now. So they are my testimony as much as they are a testimony. Seeing people on the side while I do my day job, life continues to continue. And I came to a crossroad. I recognize that what I want to do is this, and what I'm doing ain't it. Life happened in my favor in 2020, and I was able to transition to pursuing coaching full time. It's been a journey. It is a journey. It will be a journey. Visit www.carltonennisco.com, carltonennisco.com. Schedule some time. I'll take you through it. But in 2020, I was in 2020 I aligned with my path. I stopped fighting it. I said, I will go where he tells me to go. I will do what he tells me to do. And Unsolicited Genius was born. Granted, it didn't come out of nowhere. It actually was originally birthed via conversation between me and Uncle Mo back in 2017. The original version of Unsolicited Genius was going to be called The Mo Show. It ain't dead. We may still do it. But life being what it bees and roller coaster rides up and down, we realize that the way we project out, the way we give the world what we need the world to hear is through our voices. Happened to be having a conversation with Brother Craig just because and he had CI, we should do a podcast. And I said, well, brother, I got the paperwork, I got the notes, got Uncle Mo, let's pick a day. And what you hear is in our first episode, us saying, you know what, let's stop talking about it. Let's get a camera, let's get a mic, and let's press record. And here we are. Along the way, Joe Nitty said, hey, CI, listen to this. And the theme song was born. And whether he intended to or not, he became the super producer for Unsolicited Genius from that moment on. Along the way, we've had some guests, we've told some stories, we've had some laughs, and we continue. This is episode 48. We are embarking upon episode 50. And we are going to have some fun. So who I am, what I do, how I do it is through my spirit. What you get from me on Unsolicited Genius is my creativity as best as I can project it. Coming up, I was a musician, an athlete, and a scholar, but I liked words. I have journals upon journals and notes upon notes of just me formulating words. I thought maybe I would be a poet, but I ain't really like that. I thought I might write a screenplay. It may or may not happen. I thought I would fit these words into a medium that already existed. But to have podcasts form seemingly out of nowhere, not nowhere, the history of podcasts is robust, but in 1990 something and early 2000 something, podcasts did not exist. So there was no way early on would I have imagined that I would find this vehicle, this venue to articulate my thoughts and my words. But here we are. In my coaching practice, I do the same thing. Yes, I am experienced. Yes, I am trained. Yes, I am certified. So there is a method to the madness. There is a madness to the method that I apply. But every group, every person, place, a thing that I work with, I give them me. I give them my perspective. I give them my experience. I give them space to create. I give them space to align. I give them space to break through whatever is impeding their progress, impeding their joy, impeding their ability to live, flourish, and thrive in any way that they see fit. So in essence, as a coach, as a podcaster, I am a servant. How did I learn to do all of this? How did this all come about in this way? Practice and time, practice and time, practice, 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 time, time, time. I was having a conversation with a former client, but once a client, forever client. We were doing just a refresh, a touch base. She is in the process of a job search and is feeling anxieties. So all I was able to do was give her feedback perspective predicated on feedback perspective that I received. If you're applying for a job, don't stop until you hit 100. If you hit 100 and you haven't gotten the job, revisit, redo the resume, seek a certification, seek a training. But in that journey to 100, do your best. It's just practice. Every job isn't for you. You are not for every job. So just because you want a job and you are presented with a job, it may not be the job for you. But what you get in that experience is an opportunity to practice your elevator speech, an opportunity to practice how you want to project, an opportunity to practice asking questions, an opportunity to learn how to learn the culture of an organization. So how I do what I do, practice. I don't always get it right. I don't always get it wrong. But as I continue, I level up each time. Learn from the mistakes, release the judgment, give yourself some grace, give yourself a hug, and keep going. But specifically, I am a certified coach. There are sports coaches, we know. There are therapists that I believe we all should be taking advantage of. There are mentors that everybody should have. If you got one, find you one. Somebody who has done what it is you are doing, has guidance and insight to offer you. Our friends, family give us advice. Coaching is different. As a coach, my objective is to serve as a guide. In my version, you are Indiana Jones. The treasure is yours to pursue. The treasure is yours to have. I'm just here because I know a little bit about the jungle. I can give you some insight into the trappings of the environment. I can help make you aware of your blind spots. I can help you see the things you don't always see. But you do the work. You do the inquiring. You do the journey. So that as you go through and navigate the treachery of these jungles, upon the acquiring, the digging up of that treasure, the glory is yours. And I go back to help the next adventurer who is in pursuit of, I was going to say booty, but it could be misinterpreted. So in pursuit of their treasure. You know, you got your treasure, he got their treasure, she got their treasure, they got their treasure. There's a lot of treasure out there. The pie is unlimited. Get you a coach, help you get to it. Note, there's a lot of people with the title coach out there. I don't begrudge anybody they hustle. Pursue a coach with a keen eye. I am certified. I exist in the network, in a circle of other certified coaches. Not saying that they don't have a certification, that they can't be good at what they do. Certified coach is it has oversight by the International Federation of Coaches. They provide us education. They provide us accountability. And if you have a undesired outcome with a coach, holla at them. They can help you work through it. But needless to say, get a coach. Help you from where you are, get to where you want to go. So in all of that, in all that I said, and all that I am, and all that I do, and all of the why that I do, who am I doing it for? The short answer is anybody who I can help. I do it for the people. Who are the people? You. If you're listening to me, if you're watching me, you are the people. Because for some reason, you are here. I say some reason, for a good reason. You here because you like it. You here because you vibe with it. You know, you here because you want to be. But if you hear what I do it for you. I attempt to elevate consciousness. I attempt to help people connect with what brings them joy. Through the podcast, my motivation is in recognition that we exist in a very, very complex world. And so much of what we hear, so much of what we see is low vibe. And low vibe perpetuates low vibe. So where I can be a moment of uplifting, inspiration, motivation, elevation, I'm a bit. So if you need that, you are who I do it for. In my coaching practice, I work with people in positions of leadership primarily. I help those who are me, who were me, determine who they're going to be. Be you a leader at home, a leader in your church, a leader in your hustle, your entrepreneurial endeavor, a leader in the corporate space. Are you thriving? What's holding you back? What's overwhelming you? What's frustrating you? That's what we coach through. So that you get on the other side of that, shake off that burden and go be all that you can be. I think the Army used to say that. So what's next? All of it. This is episode 48 of Unsolicited Genius. We are not stopping. My coaching practice is growing. My reach is expanding. So as long as God continues to guide me and wake me up each morning, I will be all that I can be and do all that I can for you. And on that, we'll take a break and be right back. We'll be back in 3, 2, 1. What in the sports? I just told my story. I hope you liked it. Hope you vibe with it. But this still Unsolicited Genius. So what in the sports? My sports story is I am a diehard New York Giants fan. Grew up a Hurricane fan, became a Gator, loved my Heat. How did it happen? Born in Miami, you look, Miami, right? If you ain't been there, go there. If you've been there, you already know. Miami loves its team. So in exiting the womb, I was indoctrinated as a Dolphin fan. I had the sheet. Miami, at elementary school, they pass out papers. Sing this song, Miami Dolphin, Miami Dolphin #1. I was a Dolphin fan for a time. Suckers kept losing. One thing about me, I hate losing. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it got here. I've worked through it mostly. Still don't like it, but I don't cry. When I was a kid, I lose a board game, I start crying. When I played football, I lose a game, I start crying. I hated losing. And the Dolphins lost, so I said, I'm sick of this. At this transition point, I was in need of a team. Give or take, second, third grade, one of them teacher gave us a homework assignment of writing a paragraph from a newspaper article. This assignment just happened to be Super Bowl weekend, 1986, when the New York Giants were playing the Denver Broncos. Back in the newspaper day, Super Bowl weekend, the Miami Herald was thick. A lot of activity in the Herald. Mama Willie Mae said, why don't you write something in the sports pages? Write a paragraph based on the sports page, Super Bowl sports pages. So it got my attention. I paid attention to the game. LT did his thing. Joe Morris did his thing. I think Phil Simms got the MVP. John Elway got smacked around a little bit. And there I became a forever New York Giants fan. Subsequent to the Giants were the Hurricanes. Listen, I cried when the Hurricanes lost to Alabama back in 1990-something. I was diehard Cane. Thought I was going to go to college there, but, Miami did what Miami do. I said, I got to get up out of here. So I became a Gator. Love my Gators. Love my Gators. The Gators have been good to me. I skipped a couple years after the Giants, came the Canes, and then I was there when the Miami Heat were born. We had the field trip, all the schools. I think they did the All-Star game or all the schools went to Miami Arena. Some people got to see Jordan, Patrick Ewing, all this stuff, but all this energy was predicated on Miami having its very own basketball team. So New York Giants, Miami Hurricanes, Miami Heat, not the Miami Dolphins. And then I became a Gator, and here we are. Frustrated with my Giants. What am I frustrated? Yeah, I'm frustrated because we make too many mistakes. I believe they thought they were just going to waltz back into the playoffs. The Cowboys lost, clap, clap. The Eagles still winning, boo. The Commanders still to be determined, but there is hope. Got news that Dame Lillard is going to the Milwaukee Bucks. There are some 4-letter words that rhyme with Buck that me and my crew said when we found out the news, but we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Still got love for the Hurricanes. They're not my number one. At some point you got to let that first love go on her way, go on his way, depending on how male, female, do what you do. But they're doing well. I like what I see. They give their Miami fans hope. My Gators look better today than they did on the first day of the season. I don't know where we're going. I don't know what we're going to do. Alabama appears to be beatable. Georgia appears to be beatable. But guess what, Gators? You appear to be beatable too. And Kentucky coming for you this weekend. So have your A game on. have your A game on. Let's go ahead and get this SEC championship and see if we can get get into these playoffs some way, somehow. And then Heat, see you in a few weeks. Let the season begin. Are you entertained? If you hadn't guessed it, still talking about me. But more of my story. I grew up listening to R&B. Michael Jackson was my hero day one. New Edition, Ralph Tresvant, Bobby Brown, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Girl, cares to you like? Couldn't tell me nothing about it. Love me some R&B. I would fa la la in the mirror, fa la la in the shower, fa la la wherever I can, wherever I could, and add a little boogie to it. Hip hop introduced itself early, but it was a side. It was in the side for a while. But as I've said in the previous episode, hip hop R&B relationship shifted for me with NWA. How can you just say whatever you want to say? I didn't know, but they did it, and I liked it. I loved it. Upon NWA, Snoop, Dre, Chronic, other stuff came in, but the next big impact, shape shifter, transition of my life, said it before, say it again, say it tomorrow, was Outkast. Hip hop contains violence, contains elements of things that just ain't me. Granted, I saw a lot. If you've been to Miami, if you're from Miami, you know what I'm talking about. But I didn't align with that way of life. But walking with a little limp in my step, tilting my head to the side, having a little rhythm in my flow, felt right. So when Andre Benjamin, now known as Andre 3000, also known as 3 Stacks, had on the Atlanta Braves jersey, and they was out in that field, and they was just rhyming on these beats with that little country, that country twang, when that country swag. Like, I dig that. Big Boy, Daddy Fat Sex, Billy Ocean, cooler than the polar bear's toenails. Who says that? Who comes up with that? Big Boy. I became a fan. I found the music that felt like me. And over the years, fell in love with everybody else. Biggie, Pop. If you give me one rapper, it's always going to be Pop. Pop, rap from the heart. Pac. Pac had, Juice. He had his movies. He had Dear Brenda. He was making a name for himself. But when Pac did Dear Mama, I was sold. That album, Me Against the World, got me through some tough days. And then Biggie, first time I saw Biggie, I was like, who this dude? What is that? Juicy. Look at him. He juicy. What he talking about, juicy? Shh. Biggie rhymes, Biggie's raps. I love it when they call me Big Papa. Man, he to talk about words, what he was able to do, what his words allowed us to see was magnificent. So for many years, my triangle, Outkast, Biggie, Pac. Method Man hopped in there, Goody Mob hopped in there, Snoop, Dre always have a place in my heart, Daz, Corrupt, The Dog Pound, Lil' Kim, who else? T.I., I've just listened to T.I. earlier today. You know, he jumped in, Kanye West, Jay-Z. How can I forget Jay-Z? Jay-Z, he came with a little thunder. I wasn't a reasonable doubt person, still not a reasonable doubt stand. Judge me, that's your business. I'll be all right. But Blueprint is where Jay-Z made his imprint on me. Nas, I love Nas. Nas, I play today. I was a late Nas adopter. I was a late Wu-Tang adopter. But all of these people, all of these voices, all of their energy serves through me. So we have reason to be critical of what hip hop was, what hip hop is, but I am hip hop. I was then, I am now, and I will be tomorrow. Not a whole lot of new artists that I'm vibing with today. So my tomorrow might be me listening to some old stuff, but I do love me some Jack Harlow. I think 21 Savage, you know, he's grown on me. J. Cole. It's cold, brother. Cold, brother. And my man 2 Chainz, Can't Do Wrong. Rick Ross, the boss, represent the crib 24/7. So hip hop is diverse, hip hop is complex, hip hop is continuing to evolve. Where it was when it was first born, nobody imagined that our baby would be as beautiful as she is today. So I listen to hip hop. We love some good R&B. Puffy just released his little love album. I'm about love, Puffy. He got the little interlude. He gave us a side B. You might have to be a 90s baby to understand what a side B is. But side B is where the babies are born, and Puffy gave us a side B. What I watch? What have I been watching? What do I watch? What did I watch? Short version, Luke Skywalker in all black in Return of the Jedi sent me into the stratosphere. I tried to do the backflip, almost broke my neck. I have yet to try to do a backflip ever since. That being said, I am a Star Wars fan. I am a Star Wars geek. I've seen all the movies. I watched all the animateds. I'm watching all the shorts on Disney. You know, I'm waiting for Ahsoka. I need to be able to soak all that in. Rosario Dawson. I'll be there, but I am Star Wars. I like a good rom-com. Notting Hill is my favorite. Judge me if you want. But I'm just a boy telling the world about me. What else? Avatar, big Avatar fan. You know, I take it how I get it. I do like sci-fi. I like comedy. Friday, the first Friday. That was the first time I laughed. Friday, me and my homeboy left school a little early, hopped on the bus to go see this. You know, you leave school early, you just, you know, go try to get into something. And so we said, well, let's go out here. Let's see what's popping. Nothing was popping. So we go see the movie. Movie turned out to be Friday. And I had never laughed that loud, that hard in a movie. So I like a good comedy. I talked about Life the other day. Shout out to my Christmas crew. We watch Friday After Next every Christmas. Pick a date in December. Get our popcorn, sync up our video, phone, iTunes, however we need to do it. But me and my Christmas crew get it in. I read a lot. I've read a lot. You know, I think about, you know, books like, I read my mom's book. So I read a lot of Waiting to Exhale type text early on. Fast forward, consciousness became relevant. And so in all that I've read, all that I continue to read, the foundational book for me, coming up, grad school, business school, mentors, they Who Moved My Cheese, Think and Grow Rich, all these books are relevant. But my book is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. One, because it's a story. I like a story. I like a story I can visualize. And instead of you telling me what you think I should be, telling me what you think I should do, let me infer it for myself. So what I ascertained from The Alchemist when I read it many years ago is different from what I ascertained from The Alchemist when I read it today. But the message is there. We are on a journey. And it may end where it started, may start where it ended, but in the middle, it's going to be some stuff. But if you stay true to you and stay in pursuit of what matters to you. Stay in pursuit of what you believe is important. Stay in pursuit of what your heart beats for, and you will obtain it. That's what The Alchemist says to me. Take a break. Be right back. All right, back in 3, 2, 1. This is Unsolicited Genius. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow wherever we are. Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn. Holla at me. YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow, and please share. Shout out to the retweeters. Shout out to the reposters. Thank you. I appreciate it. Significant. Shout out to the super producer, Joe Nitty. Thank you, bro. Fun fact, me and Joe Nitty have been friends since 6th grade. We hovered in different crews, but school, class always brought us together. We went to middle school together, high school together, college together, pledged the same fraternity, not together. He was fall 96, I'm spring 98, but we both are blue 5 till I die, till we die. It's some dog amongst dogs. We've been through it, and we carry each other through. Uncle Mo, known since 2000 something, he pledged the fraternity. 2000 something. Little brother, my little bigger brother, love him to death, kiss him on his forehead. He will be back. Brother Craig, go back to 7th grade when I was learning basketball. Craig was playing basketball, so we used to get into it on the courts. Had homies in common, so Craig was my crew, is my crew, was my crew. Different high schools, but found our way to the same college. Craig, one summer, was my RA, so we kicked it. University of Florida is still wondering what had happened. Statute of limitations is still in place. But these are my dogs. These are my crew. We are family. We are brothers from different mothers, but united for life. So shout out Joe Nitty. Shout out to Uncle Mo. Shout out to Brother Craig. Thank you to our sponsors, Your Legacy Wear. Your legacy awaits. Find them at www.legacywearus.com. Megacore CBD, you spell CBD, letter C, letter B, letter D. Broad spectrum hemp-derived CBD, the way nature intended. Find out more about them at www.megacorecbd.com. Aura rainwater. People, drink your water. You need water. Half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 100 pounds, how much is that? 50 ounces. If you weigh 200 pounds, how much is that? 100 ounces. If you're somewhere in between 100 or more, divide the number by 2. That's how many ounces of water you're supposed to drink every day. And if you go over, guess what? You're doing good. Your urine should be clear every time. Maybe not in the morning. You got to cut it off at a certain point at night. Don't want you peeing in the sheets. So maybe that morning one might be a little dark. But guess what? If the first thing you do in your day is drink water, roll out of bed, thank God, drink some water, you have set yourself up for physical, spiritual, mental, and emotional success. Try it. Tell me what you think. Aura Rainwater, hydrate and elevate. You can find out more about them at www.aura, A-U-R-A, rain, R-A-I-N, water, W-A-T-R.com. And last but not least, you want to learn more about what coaching can do for you, learn more about what jungles I might be able to help guide you through. Find out more about me at www.carltonissco.com. And if you forget the CO, just remember Carlton INNISS. Technology is such, it should redirect you to the page anyway. What else? Shout out to my baby boy, my big boy, big man Khalil. Today is September 27th. Tomorrow is September 28th. It is his birthday. Woo-loo-loo-loo-loo. Happy birthday, Khalil. I love you. Flick you on your forehead. All right. So before we get out of here, thoughts of genius. Talked a lot about me. Talked all about me this time today. Why did it matter? What's the point? I encourage, I motivate, I attempt to inspire 3 things. Be authentic. While we are more alike than we are unalike, there is only one you. And nobody, not a singular entity, person, place, being, no AI, no IRS, no government entity, no public entity, no private entity. There is no one, no thing that knows you better than you. What you feel, what you see, what you breathe for is yours. Own it. Be it. Somebody not gonna like it. Somebody gonna love it. It matters not, as long as you are being true to you. Be authentic. Number 2, be confident. Confidence is complicated. We got imposter syndrome, we got insecurities, we got fears, we got judgments, we got assumptions, we got interpretations, we got limiting beliefs, we got barriers, we got roadblocks, we got all sorts of things that make it difficult to step into your shine. Be it on stage, be it in a meeting, be it being able to have the conversation with the cutie pie down the hall. There's a lot of noise and ego that influences and impacts and subtracts from our abilities to be confident. The good news is confidence isn't something that you are. to talk about Jay-Z. When he got a mic in his hand, he is the epitome of confidence. But it is what he is being in that moment with the mic in his hand that he is displaying that confidence. There's something that Jay-Z is not confident in. I like to cook. I am confident in my eggs. I'm confident in my barbecue chicken. I am confident in going in the refrigerator, going into the pantry, pulling out whatever I got, mixing it together, making something that you will like. Ask me to do a true traditional New Orleans style gumbo, my confidence decreases. I have done a New Orleans seafood gumbo once. People said, boy, don't mess up that roll. And they was right. I studied books, literally. I watched videos. I asked questions. And I sat with the roll. And it was delicious. And I'm afraid to do it again. So I say to me, be confident. How do you be confident? You practice, you pray, you try, you let it go. To be confident, you say, you know what? Maybe I will mess up. Maybe I won't do it right. Maybe I will fall and bust my forehead on stage. But guess what? Fall once, fall twice, fall 3 times. As long as you get up 4 times, you good. There is truly nothing to fear except fear itself. And you know who knows that? Fear. That's why it does it. It wants you to focus on it. It knows you don't need it. Fear knows it serves no purpose. Fear knows it can't stop you from being great. So be confident. And last is be your light. What does that mean? It means shine, baby. It means shine. Wherever you are, whatever you do, shine. Let it be seen. Let your voice be heard. If you got something to say, say it. If you don't have anything to say, you want to sit in the back of the room and just watch, then just watch. That's where you shine. You shine in the back. Some people shine in the front. Some people shine in the middle. Some people shine in the back. Some people shine on stage. Some people shine behind scenes. Some people shine behind the camera light. Some people shine in math. Some people shine in English. Some people don't shine in school. They shine in art. They shine in mechanics. They shine in cars. They shine in golf. They shine in basketball. They shine, they shine, they shine, they shine. Just shine. Let it go and shine. Yes, your shine will hurt the eyes of others. And they will try to tell you to dim that light. They will try to put you in the closet and close the door. Guess what? Your light can shine wherever you are, wherever you're doing. That's the point. Light is for the dark. We need that light. And all the darkness that we see on TV, on Instagram, on Fox, on CNN, on BBC, up the street, in the community, in the schools, in the police departments, in the courtrooms, in the grocery stores. The young man shot the people in the grocery stores. There's darkness in the church. There's darkness in business. There's darkness in corporations. There's darkness in automotive industry, in the construction industry, in the airline industry, in relationships, in relationship advice, in movies, in music, in books, in podcasts, in conversations, in interactions. There is darkness. We need your light. Let it shine. In all the darkness that the world can be, if you allow your light to shine, you will see your way through it all. Join us next week, same Genius time, same Genius channel. This is Unsolicited Genius. And for whenever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good night.